Monkey D. Dragon is definitely the ancient weapon Uranus. You might be skeptical now, but at least make it to the end of the video because I'm going to give you the strongest case possible. And yeah, technically this isn't a new idea, but I have concrete evidence that you definitely missed. Also, you probably watched a few videos of mine thinking you're subscribed, but you're not. So scroll down, hit the subscribe and like button. First of all, we need to explain what Uranus even is. That way this theory even makes sense. It's kind of important. So Uranus is one of the 3 ancient weapons in One Piece that the world government absolutely despises. The other 2 weapons being Pluton and Poseidon. Pluton was focused on during Water 7 in Enies Lobby when CP9 was looking for its blueprints. We even got a Robin flashback where Professor Clover explains that the world government is hiding knowledge about these ancient weapons. As far as Poseidon and Uranus goes, they didn't get any focus until the Fishman Island arc, which was like 220 chapters later. But regardless, these literal inbreds think that the ancient weapons are inherently evil, which is clearly not true. Shirahoshi's a soft-hearted crybaby, so her alone proves that the ancient weapons are not inherently evil. And if we assume that Dragon was an ancient weapon, this would make sense too, because Dragon has been liberating countries and saving children for the past 2 decades. Now, based off the names Poseidon, Pluton, and Uranus, you can see how they're based on Greek or Roman gods. Greek god Poseidon, for an example, is the god of the sea and waters. Applying this to Shirahoshi, it makes sense because she has the power to summon sea kings without using the voice of all things. Now, it's important to know that because that means her ability Poseidon is a natural phenomenon that only she has, making her an ancient weapon. Now let's take a look at the Greek god Uranus and see what that holds. So apparently Uranus is the personification of the sky, and it also correlates with the words rain and moisten. Some instances even call Uranus quote unquote Lord of the Rain. With that being said, the ancient weapon Uranus in One Piece would control not only the wind but rain as well. That's an important detail that most people overlook, so don't be one of those people. Now that we understand how Uranus is connected to rain and wind, let's talk about the Hindu god Vayu. Actually, before we do that, let's speedrun how Luffy's based on a Hindu monkey god named Hanumanji. 1. Luffy used an attack called Bajrangan. Bajrang is another name for the word Hanuman. They're the same thing. So Luffy already has a Hanuman attack. 2. Luffy and Hanuman both ate the sun thinking it was a fruit. And 3. Luffy and Hanuman are monkey kings who can stretch, make their bodies as big as they want, and are immune to lightning. Luffy and Hanuman share 1,247 similarities, but this video is not about Luffy and Hanuman, it's about Monkey D. Dragon. Now, the interesting thing about Hanuman is that he has a Hindu father named Vayu.
When it comes to 1-year-old Dante, Pierre, you are the father.
And the special thing about Vayu is that he's famously known as the quote-unquote Lord of the Winds. And you know what else has huge ties to the wind? Dragon and Uranus. Got him! Now, almost every single time that Dragon appears in the story, it's either windy or rainy. Like in chapter 100 when he first appeared, it was both rainy and windy as fuck. Now remember, Uranus is a personification of the sky and rain. So for a rainy storm to go on like that while Dragon is around is a little too ironic. And we could also bring up how Dragon manipulated wind to save Luffy from all the Marines chasing his ass. So for Dragon to be labeled as the ancient weapon Uranus would make sense since he can manipulate both wind and rain. Another thing I want to point out is from one of the most underrated arcs in the entire story, Skypiea. During Nolan's flashback, we see a beautiful young lady brought to a shrine to get sacrificed. While this is going on, they name dropped several gods which at the time we thought were completely irrelevant. The god of the sun, the god of the rain, the god of the forest, and the god of the earth. I actually have a full video on this topic with the characters that correlate with each one of those gods. The video should be at the top of the screen. But if you remember how Uranus is known as the Lord of the Rain, but also manipulates wind as a subset power, this would mean that both Dragon and Uranus fit the god of the rain. Now let's use Luffy as an example. Luffy physically has fire-based attacks, but metaphorically brings the dawn like the sun, so for him to be the god of the sun makes complete sense. But it's important to know that Luffy is the sun god because he was fated to eat the sun god devil fruit. So maybe we can apply this logic to Dragon where he was fated to eat the rain god devil fruit, making him Uranus. So therefore, Dragon has the Lord of the Rain and Lord of the Wind powers because he's based on the combination of Uranus and Vayu.
Oh yeah. It's all coming together.
Another thing about Vayu is he's known as a fighter and destroyer, but also powerful and heroic. This completely fits Dragon's personality, being he's the leader of the RA, and him and his team are heroically liberating countries just like Luffy is. Vayu's also a Dharmapala and often classified as one of the 12 divas grouped together as directional guardians. That could be a reference to the Revolutionary Army, since the RA has directional guardians, being that each commander is in control of a certain sea. It's also a double entendre in One Piece to have Vayu and Greek god Uranus combined to make Dragon, since Greek god Uranus is the father of 12 titans. Like I just said, Vayu's one of the 12 divas and Uranus is one of the 12 titans. That's pretty ironic.
But wait, there's more.
Now I actually want to talk about Monkey D. Dragon's epithet or title. So according to Viz, Dragon's one and only title is the world's worst criminal. This is constantly confused with world's most wanted man, and people blame it on the anime. But even if you go to the anime, they call him world's most heinous criminal, which is the same as saying world's worst criminal, not world's most wanted man. I won't get into the semantics of world's worst criminal, but I will say if he was actually world's most wanted man, they would have just called him that instead of taking extra steps to depict that.
True, and yeah, that's pretty true. That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean, that's true.
But look, either way, the world government may be calling him that not only because he leads the Revolutionary Army, but because he's an ancient weapon. Dragon's Vivi card even says that he's the most evil man on the planet, but seeing everything he's done on screen kind of contradicts that. So it's likely they are painting him this way because he's an ancient weapon, because like I said earlier, they think the ancient weapons are inherently evil. Another important detail about Dragon is actually from his Vivi card. So apparently Dragon has a dark secret that even if his followers knew about him, they would undoubtedly still follow him. Technically, this is just speculation, but if that secret was that he was ancient weapon Uranus, it would make sense why they still follow him, given he helps almost everyone he comes in contact with. So why would they care that he has or is the ancient weapon Uranus?
You make a good point.
With all that being said, let's tie back Dragon with the ancient weapons. We know that Pluton's a warship with blueprints, making Pluton an inanimate object, but Shirahoshi's a mermaid princess, making Poseidon a sentient being. In chapter 1044, or arguably earlier chapters, we learn that Zoan fruits have a will of their own. This means that devil fruits are both objects and sentient beings, especially when you consider devil fruits like god of the sun. So Uranus being a devil fruit of god of the rain puts it in the middle of Pluton the inanimate object and Poseidon the sentient being. And it would take Monkey D. Dragon eating the Zoan god of the rain devil fruit, aka Uranus, to make use of the ancient weapon. In other words, Dragon ate Uranus.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Too long didn't watch. Dragon is the combination of Hindu god Vayu and Greek god Uranus because he ate the god of the rain devil fruit. I feel like this is one of those theories where even if it was wrong, there's a lot of strong evidence and arguments for the case. If you're interested in more banger theories, I have a Blackbeard one on screen. It's gonna make your fucking head spin. You gotta check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and of course, please have yourself a damn good one.